Greetings all, it's Blue Knight, and welcome to the finale of Ratchet Clank, Going Commando. Previously, we infiltrated the Megacorp HQ on planet Yeedle, and found out that this widget wasn't all that he was cracked up to be. As it turns out, our returning enemy Captain Qwark from the first game was behind the Protopet menace the whole time. And he also made the regular Protopet into that scary thing that wouldn't shut the hell up. It's been yelling non-stop since the last episode. And I had to deal with that for like an entire day, at least in YouTube time when I posted this. But here for me, recording this right now, it's been like a few minutes. A few slightly annoying minutes, but a few minutes nonetheless. So today, we're gonna deal with that Protopet once and for all, and hope to get that Helixomorph back for Angela to use, and probably turn that thing back to normal, provided we don't kill it first. It can happen, you never know. We killed like 1,000 other Protopets in this game so far. Well, that might be stretching it, but still. I already killed Protopets earlier in this game, and even leading up to this encounter, so what makes our possibility of killing this guy any different? As a matter of fact, hold on a second, I gotta do this again. I'll replace you. We're gonna need the tractor beam for this. Funny enough, the least favorite gadget among the devs is gonna be a vital part in what we have to get. Oh, they don't. Ah, crap, he got that. I was gonna say, the tractor beam's gonna be a vital part in what we could do in combating with this thing. So I was trying to make sure it didn't gobble up that crate. I should have went after that the moment that it appeared. I'm gonna do that right now. Because we saw that if it eats that crate up, then it's gonna fire off some missiles. Trying to do that is not that easy when I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit by it. Get some health out the Synthenoids, and then do some pest extermination with the plasma coil. We'll switch back to this. Although I could use the bouncer to eliminate the Protopets, but I can just have the guy just eliminate his comrades for me if I let it run over the Protopets itself. Well, okay, so that's what happens. I thought it would go to the center of the platform before that would happen. Now I just gotta smash it 3 or 4 times before it breaks, and then we hit the next level. So we saw that it's gonna try to roll us over with its own rollout attack, a la Pokemon, and sometimes it'll spit out Protopets, and if it can gobble up a crate like that over there, then it's gonna fire off missiles. But if we can destroy that, then no such thing will happen. Now, it's pretty handy that I'm coming into this with some of my, well, almost all of my weapons modded too. That's making this fight a little easier than it used to be. You see at the bottom that there's a Megacorp tank down there. Gotta worry about that thing too. I don't know if this fight's like endless when it comes to platforms or not. I don't think so. This might be the last one, kind of think of it. Cause look at this hot mess. We got so much that's throwing at us now. Tanks, troopers of the regular kind. It's just throwing everything at us now. Everything but the space kitchen sink. Though our main target is relying on the big Protopets to try to smush us to smithereens. There you go. Ah, I got to it again. Oh well. I don't mind dodging. It's got very little health left anyways. I just gotta worry about that tank trying to shoot me out from afar. What's gonna happen this time? Yeah, it's just these crates. Okay, so the reason why I have the tractor beam equipped is that a tractor beam bomb will appear once in a while too. And when that happens, you can grab it with the tractor beam and lead it towards the big Protopet and make it blow up on it. But the Protopet can also gobble that up too, and I think it might shoot out bombs? I don't remember, but it usually shows up like once per fight most of the time. I don't know why that we're only getting crates so far. I don't even know why I got the Tech Bot Club equipped too. That's like the least useful thing that's gonna be handy against something like this.
You did it! Ah, it's okay. This is the real Mr. Fizzwidget. Qwark had him tied up in a supply closet all this time.
Gentlemen, you have my most profound gratitude.
It was nothing, sir. I'm just sorry we couldn't get the Helixomorph back. Right. What do you suppose is wrong with it?
I don't know. It could take months of research and...
The battery is in backwards.
Oops.
Imbecilic to the very last. Down, boy.
I just have to amplify the device with Megacorp's TV transponders, and that should cure the other Protopets.
Clank? Uh-oh. It's okay. I can fix her. I promise.
And that, everybody, is Ratchet & Clank going Commando. Some quick trivia before I get to my final thoughts on this game. Apparently, Yito was supposed to have a portion where Clank is played to help Ratchet out, and would use the lifter bot again for more puzzles. We only saw that just the one time back on Dako, I think. That was cut because of time and memory restraints, so the lifter bot was only used, like I said, just the one time. There was another segment planned for Dako, but playtesters couldn't solve it and was replaced by a simple gap for the bridge bot before the portal for the microbots to enter it. Pretty sure I discussed that when we were going over that part the first time we were playing Clank 2. Also, this boss was made easier. The Protopet was made easier by the same guy who made the direct fight, of all things, and to get feedback that the direct fight was pretty hard. I can kind of see that. I think the direct fight is a little tougher than the Protopet was.
So, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, my goodness.
So, whatever happened to Qwark?
I heard he was working at Megacorp.
So, you fellas new here? You boys should sign up for the new Probomatic. That little baby cleans you something fierce. I just got done testing the full body Waxinator. I am personally sporting a smooth chassis, and there are no tags on my luggage. All right then. Catch you later.
Subject 23A. Please report immediately for crotchetizer testing.
Well, duty calls.
You know, for a guy who lost now twice to Ratchet & Clank, I think maybe 3 times if you want to count his own boss fight back on in the first game, and I guess the second loss would be like direct losing on his behalf overall. For a guy who keeps losing to Ratchet & Clank, Qwark seems to be taking it pretty well. I guess it takes a lot to bring him down. Many Insomniac employees cited this game to be their favorite, since they refined a lot of concepts the first game had. I wonder if that's still true for some of them, because I think this game still holds up pretty well. A lot more than the first game now that I replayed it again. I mean, they did refine so much stuff, and they added so many new things too, that would make this game bigger, and it made it better too. Granted, it's not perfect, but I stand by what I said at the top of the series. This game is a very good example on taking what was great about the first game and then making that better, refining that, adding new things in to make the sequel even greater than the first game was, which was saying quite a bit because the first game was pretty solid as it is. But going Commando, it's also really good. It's a lot better in some aspects, in my opinion. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about this game. It just did what Ratchet Clank did, but they did so much better, and it's so much more playable too. And you're gonna see that in the post game as well, because this game offers up so much when it comes to New Game Plus. Way more than compared to the first game too. They even got that part right. It clearly shows just how much they learned from the first game, and they want to make this even better too. I love this message as well. That one had it coming.
All right, fellas, nice and tight now. So you tested this, right? Oh, wait, that's why I'm here. Oh, one more thing.
And we saw Qwark get his ultimate comeuppance yet again, but this time he's got himself to blame. He tried to fool us, he tried to fool Bogon, but we thwarted him. However, it doesn't have to always be like that, because now we got this message now that we beat the game. We can choose to go back in time before we defeated Qwark, or play a new game in challenge mode. Challenge mode is a good way to earn tons of bolts by playing a tougher version of the game. You get to keep all your weapons, and you can upgrade them further by purchasing mega upgrades at the vendor. Check out the specials menu for new features, unless you already unlocked it like I did. But I think a lot more of those features do get unlocked now. But challenge mode is a very, very cool thing that they did. This is what I was talking about when I said that they want to make New Game Plus, even New Game Plus, feel like a bigger deal and much more fun than the first game, instead of just handing you stronger stuff and let you go crazy with that. This is where they upped it a little bit more, and I think it's way better because of it. Because challenge mode is when this game made its debut, and as far as I'm aware, it's been a staple in Ratchet and Clank ever since, and I think that's for the better. So you can probably see that we have our spaceship still the same, but our weapon wheel gets reset when we're dropped off of Airdos again. And what's more important, all of our gadgets have been virtually wiped out, with the exception of the charge boost. They decided to keep that for us, thankfully. I don't want to work through that again. But as far as all the other gadgets, and I think the items too, well, some of them, some of the items go, we have to give those back, but not the armor magnetizer, or the box breaker, or the mapper, or whatever armor that we have at the time. We get to keep all of that. I think it's well Veritanium. Yeah, Veritanium gets kept too, but you can have the option to recollect all the crystals and the moonstones, but you get to keep the platinum bolts too. Says I'm missing one. Uh, I'm pretty sure I got them all. Did I? Oh well, we can just replay the. I can just blitz through the game again and see what I missed out on. It's not that big a deal. But after we take out a few enemies, we're going to be introduced to something pretty unique that makes challenge mode stand out in a very good way, and why this very version, this take on New Game Plus, is awesome. You see under the bolt icon that we now have a bolt multiplier. How this operates is that the more enemies you take down, the higher that multiplier gets. And it can go up to a maximum of 20 times 20. So this is their way of working around how grinding for bolts back in the first game was, because there was no such thing to grind for bolts normally. You had to exploit a glitch. And here's the game bringing it up, like I already mentioned it. Let's see. bolt counter multiplies the amount of bolts when you kill enemies. It increases the more enemies we do kill, but it resets to 1 when we get hit. Higher the multiplier, the more enemies must be killed to increase it. And it can only max out 20 like I said. I was also gonna say, this was their way of making up for the first game about grinding for bolts, because unless you exploit glitches like I had to do for the first game, you can play through the game normally again on New Game Plus and have an easier time in getting more bolts. Heck, you can say that you can get more bolts just by playing the game normally now in challenge mode than you can in like the arenas or the races or the spaceship tasks too. That's how good challenge mode is. Granted, this means you gotta deal with the enemies again, but they're gonna be a lot tougher this time. Which reminds me, I should really have uh, worked out my weapons before I went into this, but yeah, whatever. But I was gonna say, you have now to deal with tougher versions of all the enemies in the game, but if you manage to outfit your entire stock correctly and utilize them correctly too, you can handle these enemies almost as well as you could with the base game toughness of them, I guess. There's also one more thing I want to show if we can get to that part. It has to occur when we get to the first weapons banner of the game, which I'm pretty sure is stationed on Uzla when you start a new run through the campaign. Got myself another nanotech upgrade. So on Uzla is where we can get our first look at a vendor. But that's not all there is to it. Not just the vendor that's here that's still the same, but now it's got some new stuff. Some new uber expensive stuff. The game already mentioned this, but now we have access to the mega weapons. Even the Gatatron stuff, well, it's this thing too. Even the Gatatron stuff has their own mega versions, but I don't think these can be upgraded like their Megacorp counterparts will. Thankfully, they're all very cheap, so I won't mind buying all of these. Now, the other stuff, oh, I already don't have enough for the Tesla Claw. Oh well, doesn't matter. But the Tesla Claw, not Tesla Claw, the Megacorp stuff, I have enough for this. Look at these prices, man. These are very, very, very high. 150,000, 400,000, 200,000. Yeah, this is exactly why that the the bolt multiplier exists, because it's gonna help you out to getting all of these freaking mega weapons. And there's something even worse with these things too, because the mega weapons, at least with the exception of the Gatatron stuff, yeah, the Gatatron stuff is already maxed out. But the mega weapons of our Mega Corp inventory, those can be upgraded too. I'm not kidding about that. Those hefty, expensive weapons of or versions of weapons you already have, they can get even stronger. So when you put the time into it, that is the reason why you can make challenge mode as big of a cakewalk as it is playing through the first game, barring a few difficult spots, but still, my point stands. And mods do carry over for all of those weapons too. Those do not go away once you attach them to weapon. They are attached to that weapon forever. So this is why I said if you put the time into it, playing through this game can make you feel like an unstoppable god. an unstoppable space Lawmax god, going through Bogon, taking on all sorts of adversaries. It can help make some of the tougher arena challenges a little tougher too. That's how godly you can be. That's how much of a tyrannical. Well, that might be going too far. That's how much of a tyranny you could be to the enemies in this game because of how strong those weapons can get. It is absurd, man. It is so absurd. But this just shows they went above and beyond. They want to make New Game Plus not just New Game Plus. They wanted to go bigger than that, and by golly, they did. They sure did. I mean, just look at how many bolts I'm getting from the times 20. It may not be much now, but imagine keeping this bolt multiplier up in an arena fight. That should tell you just how many bolts you can get on top of the bolt prizes that you can win too at those arena fights. What I'm saying is, man, is that if you're willing to go even farther in putting time into this game, it's gonna take you quite a bit to get all that stuff. Especially that Clank Zapper. I think that Clank Zapper is like worth 2 million bolts on its own. And let me tell you, from personal experience, it takes a long time to upgrade too. That thing, it takes forever to upgrade, man. The fact that you can even get upgraded is kind of a mind-boggling thing in itself, but it takes so long, and quite frankly, it's not even worth it. It's just there for like, for giggles, really. But it is necessary to get if you want to get that skill points, because it does count as a weapon, believe it or not. And that's not even counting for stuff like the Zodiac or the Rhino 2. We still have all of those to get too, but I am not going to spend time grinding for that because I already have done that. I have mentioned recently, I already have a completed file in reserve so I can show you what happens when you put in the time to upgrade everything and collect everything, because I did that. I don't regret it, but it takes a lot of time, man. However, it is time worth sinking into if you really like this game, and I can't wait to show you just how absurd your artillery can get when we do get to the bonus videos. Finally made it to the end of the Bactar route, and I want to show this off. There's an easy armor vendor you can get to here. Still has a Carbonox armor as the strongest one you can get in the game, but it's there now if you want to have like an easier time getting to it instead of waiting until one of the later planets in the game to get to that. I think I might have enough, or I might be a little short. Yeah, it's a little bit short getting one of these. But I want to get one of these purchased before we end things off, because I want to show you just what that looks like when you do have one of those weapons in your possession. Also, 1 million, 1.5 mil. Oh, it's only a million tier 2, but that's still 2.5 million bolts you gotta save up alone for those three things. Well, 3.5 if you count the Carbonox armor too. Don't worry about that, just do that. Also, Slim's Jack is unlocked too when you start a New Game Plus run. I forgot about that. But I'm pretty sure all the stuff that he has over there is also saved up. I'm gonna check really quick to see if I'm right on that. Those should be unlocked already. I'm not gonna show this off. You can switch weapons in between cutscenes like this. And that's what the nuke looks like. I realized I never shown that up until now. But that's what it does, and that's what it applies. You can use it once, but it can clear out a ton of foes if you're in the right space. And the best how to do that is when all the enemies are gathering for a new wave like that. It only happens maybe twice throughout the game. Once on Wupash, and the other one on Beltsin during that main mission of that location. But the point still stands. The nuke, it does what it does. It's a big screen clearer, but it's very fun to use. I'm just surprised I didn't show that on screen. Ah, crap, I lost my multiplier. Oh well. I'm surprised I didn't show that on screen up until now because it just completely slipped my mind because of how much we were doing well with all the other weapons. So I really never had a good time to use the nuke. But I'm glad I got to show it off at least once. That's another upgrade in the bag. Getting to the arena, even the prizes are increased from last time too. I actually did not recognize this until just now, because I rarely do challenge mode, admittedly so. Not because I just get bored of playing the game after I beat it. It's just because whenever I do go back to this game after a lengthy amount of time, I just want to start on a playthrough. So I never really got to experience how much time I can really log into challenge mode as a kid. I downloaded it once in a while, but I always wanted to try another new run just for the heck of it. So I might have just contradicted myself by what I just said a few moments ago. But now putting the time into going through challenge mode, it really shows just how much effort your your playtime can really showcase. But the time in is gonna be worth it. You look at all those points I already got. It's gonna be so worth it, man. So worth it. I purchased the cheapest one I could possibly think to get, but now it replaces my upgraded form like it would with this icon. But so the colors now change as we can see, as well as the ammo count. But we also see that the upgraded meter has been emptied again. I'll show what that looks like in its upgraded form in the bonus videos because I put that much time into this again. I already did it once for the series, but we can wait till later for that. That will take a long time if I just upgrade everything again for no particular reason, because I already have that stuff prepared. So I'll just show all that for my completed file. It'll just take a lot of time to do. Although I will hold myself to my word on upgrading the very few things that I don't have upgraded yet, like the hover bomb gun and the shield charger. I'll do that just to show what they look like when you're supposed to put the time into it in your first run. So that's as far as I'll go when it comes to upgrading stuff on this file. But I think that's all we could do for today. We took care of the base game and defeated the final boss, as well as got an introduction into challenge mode and seeing how many benefits you can obtain from the bolt multiplier alone, which by the way, according to my research, you have to kill at least 100 enemies to make that multiplier reach times 20, the maximum. So be sure to keep that in mind when you're trying to raise that multiplier as high as you can without getting hit. Otherwise, it's back to square one for you. So thank you to everybody who took the time to watch this entire playthrough. This finale might seem like a little messy. I honestly did not expect getting to this ending so quickly. I mean, we're like at episode 34, and it already feels like that I just started this LP. So thanks to everyone who took the time to watch this, because a lot of time did go into making these videos, especially those godforsaken time-lapse ones. Oh boy. But it's all worth it in the end. I'm glad with how this turned out, and I'm looking forward to getting to the bonus videos whenever I can, because there's still quite a bit we have to see before we're completely done with going Commando. Overall though, it was a fun time, and I hope I got to show you how much of an improvement this game was over the first one, and how much of a worthwhile sequel it really is. So next time we meet Ratchet, we'll be going through the stuff we haven't seen yet in the bonus videos, whatever that may be. It might happen immediately after this finale, or it might happen some other time. I'm not sure. I'm still debating on that yet. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And when we do, oh boy, there's quite a lot that you still have to see. Until we meet again, farewell for now, and thanks for watching.